Howdy again everyone. Now, major camera manufacturers have seemed reluctant to market official fisheye lenses for their various new mirrorless camera systems, instead choosing to surrender that space to third-party manufacturers for whatever reason, and the latest third-party offering comes from Brightin Star, here with an 11mm f2.8 fisheye optic. It's a manual focus, full-frame lens available on L-mount Canon RF, Nikon Z and Sony E-mount mirrorless cameras, and it has a fairly low price of $260 US. I'd like to thank Brightin Star for sending me a copy of this lens for evaluation, although as usual this is a totally independent review. And if you haven't come across a fisheye lens before, well, here you are. A picture speaks 1,000 words. With the recent availability of extreme wide-angle lenses which are corrected for distortion, pretty much the only reason to get a fisheye lens now is for that unique barrel-distorted look in their images, although it can still be useful to get a 180-degree wide-angle view from corner to corner. The lens's build quality is metallic and very robust, with a chunky size and a hefty weight of nearly 600 grams or nearly 1.5 pounds. The lens mount is made of metal and does not feature weather sealing. At the rear we get the manual focusing ring, which turns very smoothly, precisely and a little heavily. Honestly, manually focusing a lens at these wide angles is very easy with just a little practice, as the depth of field in your images will be so big. As you focus in and out, we don't really see focus breathing, but the corner image projection does warp rather a lot, as you can see here. In front of the focus ring comes the aperture ring. It too turns very smoothly, without clicks, and the aperture stops are spaced evenly across the ring, something I like to see. The lens has a thin, built-in metal hood, and it comes with a slip-on cap, which fits fairly securely, although I'd like to have seen it just a little tighter on there. There's no possibility to use filters with this lens, as usual for a fisheye optic, and well, that's it. A dead simple lens here with very tough build quality, no problems to report at all. So let's take a look at image quality now, and for obvious reasons I can't use my test chart here. It's intended for full frame cameras, so let's try it out on my Sony a7R III with its full frame 42 megapixel sensor. No in-camera corrections are available with this lens. In the middle of the image, straight from f2.8, we see excellent sharpness and good contrast right away. Over in the corners, however, the image is a fair bit softer and some colour fringing is visible on contrasting edges. At f4, there's a little more sharpness and brightness. At f5.6 and f8, there are further gradual improvements, leading to very sharp image quality across the frame, although colour fringing unfortunately doesn't go away. Here's f16 and f22, where you can see the effects of diffraction making the image softer again. So, considering the lens's price point, the performance is just okay here. I was hoping for sharper image corners for astrophotography, but the lens will take some nice images for you all the same. Something I should mention though is that vignetting is a little heavy on this lens at brighter apertures, with a slightly blue hint to it, so that's not so good. The lens can focus down to a pretty close 17 centimeters, which is a cool bonus feature. The good news is that, even at f2.8, it's just as sharp at these close distances. And if we zoom out of this image again, you can see that the quality of this lens's bokeh at those close distances is pretty nice and soft also. Let's see how the lens performs against bright lights now, and it's just an average showing here. Flaring and some glaring and circular effects are visible, but I have actually seen worse than this before. While we're working in the dark, let's see about coma levels. As you can see here, bright points of light in the very edges do catch coma smearing at f2.8. At f4 it's reduced, and at f5.6 it's gone, to be replaced with sun stars, and if we zoom out again, you can see how impressive those big sun stars really are. Stop down to f11 for them to get really huge, although if you stop down as far as f22, they suddenly lose their definition a little bit. Overall, this is a lens with a few ups and downs really. Its build quality is nice, it's low price, affordable, it has good colours and big old sun stars, which is always fun. Less encouraging are the rather softer corners at brighter apertures, and the unpleasant vignetting and some colour fringing. I prefer the Astra Hori 12mm fisheye lens, although it is far bigger and more awkward to carry around than this smaller Brightin Star model, and it doesn't have as exciting sun stars for those who concern themselves with such things. So really, you pay your money, you make your choice. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Fisheye lenses are really tricky for me to test, as you can imagine, but I don't think I'll ever get bored of those beautiful, distorted images. They might not really be in fashion these days, but they'll always have a place in my heart. If you find yourself watching my reviews often and you find them helpful, then check out my Patreon page. There, supporters of this channel get all kinds of exclusive bonus content, and of course a warm, fuzzy feeling deep inside them for making such a big difference, as they do, in keeping this channel going, sponsorship free. Ciao for now, everyone.